What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Madden 17 Chargers franchise. And we are here at the bye week. It has sure been a rough year for the San Diego Chargers, as they are 2-8, and they're really not underperforming on either side of the ball. They are just getting super unlucky results. They have a pretty good offense and a pretty solid defense too. Their run defense is relatively weak, but they have one of the top 10 passing defenses in the league by yardage given up. But it has kind of worked out for the Chargers, as they currently sit in a good position in the draft, currently sitting at number 3 overall, a little bit ahead of the Ravens, Dolphins, and Buccaneers, who have a tie to their name. So we are right behind the Bears and 49ers. If the season ended today, we would have the 3rd overall pick, but you never know. Somebody might jump us. We will see how that turns out at the end of the season, but that's just an update on that situation. Before we get into individual stats for the season, I'm going to show you guys the depth chart, because we have made a couple of different changes throughout due to various injuries or otherwise poor performance. Our skill positions are relatively the same, although a big injury is coming in the next couple weeks. We'll probably be covering that before it happens to one of the important positions on this, but for the most part, it stayed the same up to this point in the season. You got your familiar faces, your new guys. We moved Keenan Allen to the 2nd spot because he's because of the way the game plays this year. We moved Joe Barksdale to the left guard. We moved Marcel Jones to starting left guard because they were both better pass protectors than King Dunlap and Davin Joseph. Matt Slauson remains our center. He is now back from injury. At right guard, we have Davin Joseph instead of DJ Fluker, who has terrible ratings. I didn't realize, even though he has a high overall, but he has terrible blocking ratings. We moved King Dunlap to right tackle. I don't think we really made many changes along the defense. Joey Bosa is still starting at that left defensive end spot, and Corey Liuget is playing right end, and he's having a pretty big year. Brandon Mebane hasn't been playing lately. He did suffer an injury. I'm not 100% sure whether I showed that or not. He's not very important, though. Our linebacking core is relatively the same. We did get an extension done with Melvin Ingram, but it looks like Manti Te'o is going to be testing free agency, and he's really the only free agent that I was looking into bringing back. And I was only looking to bring him back as a contingency plan while we can look to find a better linebacker. So as you can see right now, our third corner is now Daryl Worley, as I'm making a couple adjustments here. Our third corner is now Daryl Worley, because I realized that he had the best zone coverage rating, or the best man coverage rating, out of any cornerback on our roster. So we are going to be moving Terrence Mitchell and Brandon Flowers to our safety spots. I talked about those as a couple of weak spots on our team. Dwight Lowery has just been miserable all season. He has allowed quite a few catches in games that I played. In the simulation, he hasn't been doing so hot, and Terrence Mitchell has better zone coverage, and Brandon Flowers has terrible man coverage, but he has great zone coverage. So I've decided to put him at safety, especially with his horrendous contract. We're going to try and get some use out of him before we inevitably trade or release him. Here are our sped up stats. Philip Rivers is having a pretty good year. I actually think he's like 2nd or 3rd in the league in passing yards. Melvin Gordon been struggling up to this point, but every running back has had pretty terrible stats. Keenan Allen, leading the NFL in receiving yardage, is also leading our team in receiving yardage, obviously. Joe Barksdale kind of struggling. Everyone else has been pretty solid except for DJ Fluker, we just benched, and his ratings are terrible to begin with anyway. Big year for Corey Liuget. I did not expect him to have 8 sacks. And Joey Bosa is having a pretty solid showing with 6.5. Hoping for a big year out of him next year. The rookie years are always the formative years. That's what I like to tell myself about Leonard Williams anyway. Some Jets fan, and he didn't have a whole lot of sacks this last year, but he was still really good. So yeah, catches allowed. Jason Verrett's not having the greatest year in the world, and outside of that, our safeties has just not been very good in terms of allowing catches. And our kicker's been terrible. He's missed 2 kicks out of 8. But I don't really expect anything out of him anyway, because he doesn't have very good ratings anyway. So yeah, I'm not really super disappointed by that. So here's our remaining slate of games. I meant to show the first part of the schedule too, but I didn't record it. So here's our remaining slate of games instead of the whole schedule. And since we were pretty much in full-on tank mode from this point forward, I think every game on the schedule is losable. The Panthers have been terrible this year for some reason, but I still think the simulation will treat them a little bit better than it treats us. And the Browns are a toss-up. They've been pretty decent this year compared to normal, but every other team has a pretty good record, and we're going to be playing the games against the Texans, Raiders, and Chiefs, because the Chiefs will be our home finale. Hopefully we can eke that one out, one last treat for the fans in San Diego. They will get to see a win. So we'll see if that works out the way I'd like it to. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow we will resume with gameplay as we will be on the road against Houston Texans. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.